93.5 CHMR, the Honey Street Velvet Happy Hour featuring Angus Bush, and this week featuring Jeff Way from the band Category 6. And Jeff's doing some programming here, too, and we're having a great chat. We're old buddies is the thing here. We've known each other forever and a day and have played in bands together. And interesting to hear Jeff's latest project and find out what's on the go. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Welcome.
Good. How you doing?
Not bad, boy. Not bad.
Not bad,
Not bad as a boy. You got to tell me about this new band you're in. First of all, like, how long have you been together as Category 6? Because you've been in a lot of local projects over the years, Oberon being one, and several others.
Yeah, that was my previous band, Oberon.
I'm going to have to get you closer to that there, sir.
Yes, sir.
There you are. That's a microphone.
Yeah, well, Oberon was my previous band, like you just mentioned, and Category 6 started with me and the other guitar player, Adam.
Right.
Well, we met at work, actually, and got together with our guitars and just to see if we were on the same page musically, and I guess we were. Because after our first sit-down, we pretty much had one of our tracks written, and that was Beginning of the End. And, you know, that was in 2009 in the summer. And then by mid-2010, we had our full lineup, and we started playing shows here locally downtown.
The lineup that you have,
the lineup we have now,
other folks in the metal scene around town, you just grabbed them from other bands, like a lot of bands do, or people you knew outside?
No, a lot of them were not in. Well, our singer was in previous bands, metal bands, but the other guys were not performing in other bands like myself so much.
I know.
And you know, we got our stuff together by 2010, and we've been playing shows since then. So that's pretty much how it came together.
The track "Vinland" that we just heard, was that the song that you came up with instantly on your first?
So the instant
jam?
song is called "Beginning of the End." That was our first track that we had. "Vinland" came probably second. That was a quick to come together song again too. Me and Adam, pretty much we can sit down and within a short period of time we can have our stuff, song written.
You're a regular Iron Maiden team. You're a regular Murray and. What's the scoop on that song, Vinland? You said you wrote some of the lyrics, you were telling me.
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics to Vinland. I'm not the main lyric writer in the band, but that was one of the songs I wrote because even back in my Oberon days, I used to like to write a song that had something to do with Newfoundland history.
Right.
Because we're from Newfoundland, we should be singing about something that's related to here sometimes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Vinland is about the presence of Vikings in Newfoundland and, of course, their settlement at Lansom Meadows. You know, the first line in the song is, "We set sail from the shores of Iceland, blown off course on our way to Greenland."
Very good.
And ended up here.
Lansom Meadows.
Yeah.
Ever been there? Nice spot.
Oh yeah, I've been there. It's a few grass humps in the ground is pretty much all you can see now, but it's still cool.
Right.
So Vikings are pretty metal. So we figured that gives us license to sing about them because we're not a Norse band. So we
like Tyr.
Yeah, like Tyr, who are awesome, but. Since they were here, we could, throw in a song about Vikings.
For sure. So what influenced you? You guys got quite the guitar, feeding off, handing off from one to the other kind of thing. Like I said, the Iron Maiden-ish kind of thing. You even said that yourself. You're a big influence, obviously.
Obviously, I think most of the bands that we all like, the common influence would be Iron Maiden. Anyone into metal pretty much likes Iron Maiden unless you're into really, really extreme stuff. And even those bands are influenced by Iron Maiden.
As I mentioned earlier, Lady Gaga is influenced by Iron Maiden.
She was a roadie for Iron Maiden for one day or somewhere on their tour is what I've heard,
Okay. Well, she likes them anyway.
See, every member in our band pretty much, there's the common bands that all of us like Iron Maiden, and, a lot of us like Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Dio, Metallica. And then depending on which member of the band you talk to, I guess you would get slightly different answers. There's bands like, your more progressive stuff like Symphony X, Dream Theater, Gamma Ray, Primal Fear, Nightwish, Camelot, blah, blah, blah.
Who likes Gamma Ray? Who likes Gamma Ray in your band?
I wonder, who's obsessed with Gamma Ray. That would be me.
So I guess all these influences come together, and there's your sound. How would you describe your sound? Because like the song Vinland, as you said, is more, in your face kind of... We are proud, this kind of thing. Is that kind of the sound of your band? Or do you get any mellow stuff? You got any mellow stuff going on?
Well, there's no ballads. There's maybe a song or two that might have a clean part, or there will be.
Power metal. There will be.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I guess calling us melodic metal, we're not an extreme band by any stretch, but we're not, going to be writing ballads or top 40 music, so...
No top 40 stuff.
No, you got that right.
That's right. All right, want to play another one? Let's play another one.
Sure, man.
Let's do Wasting Away. Good stuff, and we'll chat more with Jeff from Category 6. This is Wasting Away from their EP, their demo EP, I guess, Vinland. Here they are, Category 6, 93.5 CHMR. 93.5 CHMR, the Honey Street Velvet Happy Hour featuring Angus Bush, and that's Category 6 there. And Jeff is here. Jeff is from Category 6. That song called Wasting Away. That's what we're doing, killing an hour or so here, having a yarn about the band. Category 6, and that's Jeff's band. What's going on? Good track.
Cool, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I honestly like it. I'm not going to play stuff I don't like on the show, but yeah, it's good. And, one thing I find that sets this band apart from a lot of bands, a lot of metal bands, this is the female singer. Amanda Goss is fronting your band there. Right. Tell me about Amanda.
Yeah, she's great. She's
bottom line.
Bottom line, yeah. But I think it's one thing that does make us a little bit different, at least locally, because as far as I know, there's no other local metal band that are playing shows that have a female vocalist
that are active.
Right. There's probably someone who is, but I've played at a lot of shows. I go to a lot of metal shows. I haven't seen recently any other females fronting a metal band, so yeah, that's a little bit of a different thing about us, I guess.
Who else we got lined up in the clan?
Okay, besides Amanda on vocals, there's our other guitar player, Adam Rowe. On bass, we have Tristan 80. Our drummer is Luke Butler, and me, Mr. Dressup.
Mr. Dressup. I could come up with a few other names there. Yeah. So y'all got together, you say, a couple of years back and put it all together as Category 6. Who came up with the name? I know from personal experience, coming up with a name for a band is, it's just it's nuts.
Yeah,
it's hard to do for everybody, especially a five-piece, to agree on.
Yeah, we had the name, I think, fairly early. Everyone's heard of the hurricane scale for Category 1 through 5.
And you are
so
beyond.
There is no Category 6, at least not yet.
There is now
in the hurricane scale.
It's the local metal act.
So one day, I guess it was me and Adam. I think we were just joking about what would come after Category 5. And we said, well, what would a Category 6 hurricane be? And, being ridiculous, we were kind of like, yeah, it'll be made of fire. Mm-hmm. So it would be a fire cane. So that's what's on the cover of our EP. It looks like a hurricane, but it's made out of fire. So, that was suitably over the top and ridiculous enough to
become a band name.
Become a band name.
You mentioned the EP now. You got a 3-song EP demo kind of deal, but where'd you record it? Here in town, I guess.
A name that I'd say a lot of people might recognize from the scene is Colin Smart. He used to be in Oberon with me. He's the guy who did a lot of work on this EP behind the scenes. Uh-huh. He recorded the drums back in the fall of last year, and then after Christmas, I guess, is when all the guitars and the vocals and everything came together, and we did the guitars basically in our own homes with our computers, that kind of recording and
modern way.
Yep. So, he put it all together and did a lot of work on it, and I thought he did a pretty good job of making it sound,
Absolutely. Plans now for more? I guess you're doing a lot of this. Obviously, you're playing this stuff live. You have any more tracks ready to go? You're playing live?
Yeah, well, we don't just have 3 original songs. We already have enough songs probably for at least another 5 or 6 songs original that, enough to fill an album.
Right.
And, we have talked about playing, recording all this stuff. We do play all this stuff live, but we've been talking about doing a full-length album. But, of course, the hard part with recording a full album, is money.
Right.
And, it does cost to pay to record. And, when you play in a metal band here in St. John's, as anyone else who's in a metal band knows, you're not going to be paid to play. This is despite the fact that, you go down to a metal show and the club is often very full. So the clubs are bringing in people and selling their booze, but they're not paying the bands like they would a rock band.
Right.
That's just what it is.
Do rock bands make money now? It's been so long, yeah.
They're not rich, but I'm sure they're... Yeah. But anyway,
enough to pay for the booze.
You get a split on the door, but it's you're lucky to get $10 or $15 sometimes, right? It's not about the money. If you're playing metal, you're doing it because you love playing this kind of music, and it's in your blood, and it's got nothing to do with the paycheck.
You mentioned the crowds out at the clubs. You say there's a huge metal scene then in St. John's.
I wouldn't call it huge, but it's depends on the band, of course. The biggest band here locally and the longest running would be Chevy,
right?
And I followed them from day one, and I think they're awesome. And when they play, they get a really big crowd, and there's other great bands like Fire Rain, Weapon, Wizards of Chaos, who you played, Crowface, a lot of great bands in our scene.
Right on.
And they all, to varying degrees, bring in a good crowd. So with the right lineup, you can have a decent
show
at one of the clubs.
What do you got planned? You got some more gigs coming up? I know you played recently down at the Rock House there.
Yeah, we got a show at the Rock House at the end of April, I believe that was.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool, but we only had like 4 days notice to promote it, so we didn't have a lot of time to get the word out. But there is a show that we've confirmed in August. We're hoping to play before then, but August the 5th we're playing at headquarters, and we're asked to do that by Fire Rain because it's the band's 10th anniversary, and it might be their release show for their upcoming album.
Okay.
So that would be pretty cool, but, you know, we'd hope to play again before that, maybe later in June, maybe early July, we'll see.
Well, you let me know, we let the masses know on the happy hour here. The Honey Street Velvet happy hour. It's good hearing your stuff. We're going to play one more track now, beginning of the end. Then we'll be back to chat a little bit more. 5:35, the Honey Street Velvet happy hour with Jeff Way from Category 6. I'm Angus Bush on 93.5 CHMR. 93.5 CHMR, the Honey Street Velvet Happy Hour, featuring Angus Bush. And today, Jeff from Category 6, too, has been hanging out and programming some tunes. And we played a few of their tunes from the band Category 6, and we just heard one right there. That was called Beginning of the End, Wasting Away in Vinland. They're previously played moments ago. Jeff, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, man.
That's awesome. And your EP, this 3-song EP, is it available to the public?
The band does have a few copies left. You know, we sell them at shows. It's not for sale online, except for at Bandcamp, which is category VI. You know, it's not 6 as the number 6 is VI. Just Roman numerals .bandcamp.com, and you can buy it digitally on there.
Cool. So, and that's available. And you got your Facebook and all that stuff too.
Yeah, you know, your Facebook.com/category VI, same thing. Yep. You can check us out there. Any shows we got coming up, you'll be able to see where we're playing and when through there.
All right. And you let me know when you got some more stuff, and be happy to play it right here on the Happy Hour, the Honey Street Velvet Happy Hour, featuring Angus Bush. Right on. You mentioned a bunch of your influences. You've been programming some tunes, and we'll finish it all up here with a track you wanted to hear. The band Gamma Ray. You're a huge fan of Gamma Ray.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with Gamma Ray, and especially their lead singer Kai Hansen, because of his he's the godfather of power metal. He was formerly from Halloween.
Yeah.
Left Halloween, started Gamma Ray, and it's one of the better bands in the world, in my opinion. I've seen them live once and would go again if they come to Canada anytime.
Okay, we're going to play something Gamma Ray for you. Thanks for coming in. Jeff Way from Category 6. This is Rebellion in Dreamland. Rock on.
Thanks, man.
See ya.